This is an excerpt from the Video Encyclopedia of 8 Ball, a 5-DVD instructional series organized as shown here. This is an example clip from the 4th DVD that covers advanced shot techniques and strategy. Another common break shot is where you break from the side rail and target the ball in the second row instead of the front ball. If you hit the ball as squarely as possible, the balls usually spread well. Also, the 8 ball will generally move out of the rack area. If playing under rules where pocketing the 8 on the break counts as a win, for example in the APA league system, the second ball break is a good option since the 8 ball motion gives you the best chance to pocket the 8 on the break. Even though the odds are low to pocket the 8, the game victory payoff justifies the approach. The 8 ball will generally move toward the opposite side pocket, but motion in other directions is also common, depending on exactly how the racked balls are sitting. If you get a fairly square hit on the second ball and use a bit of draw or outside spin, the cue ball will also tend to bounce back through the rack area. This is a good approach since it can help a sluggish 8 ball move more and help clear any clusters that might remain in the rack area. Another advantage of a second ball break is that if the balls rack and sit well, and if the hit is good, the opposite corner ball has a good chance to go in the corner pocket. Here are some examples of second ball breaks. Notice how the 8 ball tends to move well. Also notice how the corner ball gets pocketed fairly often, but not always. Also notice how well the balls spread. The 8 ball was heading straight for the side that time, but got bumped away. Here are a couple more. So as you saw, the second ball break can be effective in spreading the balls well and getting a good chance to pocket a ball. We didn't manage to pocket the 8 in any of these attempts, but it did move, at least giving it a chance to find a pocket. We also pocketed the corner ball a decent percentage of the time, although this will depend on table conditions and how well the balls rack. One disadvantage of going across the table with the cue ball is that it can tie up with balls that sometimes remain in the rack area. Here's an example. That was a bit unlucky, but it can happen. Also, sometimes the cue ball can carom off a ball while going across the table and scratch in either bottom corner or either side. Some people prefer using softer speed and a little more draw and/or outside spin to send the cue ball toward the center of the table, where there will usually be less traffic and more options. Here's an example. A little more draw or spin would have been better there to send the cue ball more to the center of the table. Another possible disadvantage of the second ball break is the likelihood of a scratch if you are not very accurate and consistent with the hit. If you hit the front ball a bit before the second ball, a scratch in the corner is very likely. Here's an example. You can also scratch if you don't hit the second row ball squarely enough, like this. Scratching on the break, especially if you pocket balls and get a good spread, is a terrible thing. A good player will be very likely to run out with ball in hand after the break, especially if there are no real problems to solve. And even a not-so-good player has a huge edge against a player of similar skill with ball in hand after the break because they get to choose the set of balls that offers the best chance of winning. If you are not accurate enough to consistently hit the second ball squarely and avoid the front ball, you probably shouldn't use the second ball break. Scratching on the break is too big of a penalty to risk. Let's end the second ball break section on a positive note. Here's a good example with a ball pocketed, a good spread, and good 8 ball motion toward the side. For more information, visit the website at dr-dave-billiards.com/8ball. There, you can view video excerpts and see a detailed outline of the entire VEEB series.